long before the military we know now, fighters determined to help our country win World War II were almost wiped from history.
This morning, KREM 2's Kiera Alfallen shares a story close to her heart. It is the story of the Tuskegee Airmen, and more specifically, her grandfather. Good morning, Kiera.
Yes, good morning. Well, through my eyes, he is more than just my grandfather. He's also a husband and a father, and of course, an inspiration. And to many others, he is a hero who stood for something that many of us can relate to.
Long ago, before the U.S. Air Force, a group of black pilots fighting to become known and defend America against the countries seeking to destroy us. They are known as the Tuskegee Airmen.
They wanted to make sure that their stories would never be forgotten. And that's why they formed the organization.
But they were fighting more than just U.S. enemies during World War II. These men almost unable to join the war in the 1940s because of something they could not control, the color of their skin.
They were fighting two wars, one overseas and one at home, to be equal.
One of the proud Tuskegee Airmen, Jose Rizal Alfallen, a man growing up in Louisville, Kentucky with a dream to fly. But at a time where racism divided the country, this did not seem possible.
They were actually asking the questions, could black people fly planes?
I fulfill one of my ambitions as a combat pilot. I got one airplane.
Following a movement spearheaded by activists and political groups, black men finally allowed to join the military in 1941. But segregation casting a shadow on that victory.
You're classed as a second-class citizen, meaning that you're not as good as these people, and you don't even deserve to go fight for your country. And they had to prove that they were good enough to fight for their country.
Bertha Alfallen remembering the stories her husband Jose could not forget.
After dark, you were free meat for the Klan, the police, or anybody.
I asked them up front, I said, well, why would you want to go fight for a country that disrespects you so much? They said, compared to what the Nazis were doing, America is a great country.
But still, the Tuskegee Airmen training hard. They had something to prove.
They really went through rigorous training to make sure they were ready to fly and not disgrace their race.
The Tuskegee Airmen made up of many fighter groups. Jose, part of the 477th Bombardment Group. He was ready for battle, but just before he could, history changing his destiny.
2 weeks before they were supposed to be shipped over there, Truman dropped the bomb, the H-bomb, and of course the war ended.
Jose may not have fought in the war, but he had known battle.
They opened the door for blacks to participate in every aspect of the military.
My grandfather ended up passing away in 1997, but he left behind his mark on history, his legacy, and also his name inside the Museum of Flight in Seattle. It wasn't until 2007 when the Tuskegee Airmen were finally awarded for their achievements that they had made when President George W. Bush awarded them with a Congressional Gold Medal. And surviving family members like myself are just trying to make sure that their memory stays alive.